Hey guys, Brian delivers you the goods here. I'm returning to you this morning or about late this morning for a album review, and this is for the next Marathon studio album review for Underoath's seventh studio album, O Disambiguation. O parentheses Disambiguation, I meant to say. So I'm gonna discuss what I listened to for this new album. Not new album, this Marathon studio album review. Please forgive me on slipping up and what I said. But yeah, and I'll let you know what I thought of this Disambiguation album. So let's dive into this review. Now, I was really surprised with this album. Um, in Division, I wasn't sure if I was feeling for that because mostly the melody and how the drumming and Spencer Chamberlain's screams were great in it. But it's just the mixing and all that was a little bit of a slight problem with me. But I didn't hate the song. I think it's a solid track, so 4.5 out of 5 for me for In Division. It's a it's a heavy one, so uh but this feels like it's going into a Underoath going into a different change of scenery with their new sound and all that. But yeah, Catching Myself, uh, was a great song. I really love that song. Um, One of my favorites, honestly. Paper Lung was pretty good. So 5 out of 5 for tracks 2 and 3. They were really good tracks. I really enjoyed those songs from start to finish. Um, Illuminator was pretty good song for what it was going for. Then comes Driftwood, and I wasn't sure if I was feeling for that much, but it still was fine for what it was. So 4.5 out of 5. It's more of a mellow track for Underoath. One of the mellowest tracks you're gonna find on this album. A Divine Eradication, great song. Love the screams from Spencer Chamberlain. They're really good. Um, and he just really rips it with his vocals and all that in this song. And he does a little bit more cleaning, meaning clean vocals in most of this album, so I'm really surprised. Unfortunately, Aaron Gillespie's not doing the drumming in this album. It's some other drummer or whatever, Daniel Davidson or whatever his name is. I don't know his last name, to be honest. I'd have to look at it on Wikipedia again. But he's a good drummer. He did a good job with his drumming work. It's just, there's some drumming sounds that don't sound great with how the song's gonna play out in this album, but he still was good for what he did. Um, but Divine Eradication was a banger for sure. I really love that song. Who Will Guard the Guardians was another great song that I enjoyed. Um, Spencer Chamberlain's screams is still great, and his clean vocals are surprisingly very good. Um, Reversal, I don't know if I feel for, honestly, but it's still a pretty solid track, so there's some noise and annoyingness with it getting repetitive with going to one lyric. It's not a long song, but it's like a minute and 45 seconds. But for what it was, I'd give it a 4.5 out of 5. It's an interlude to the next song, which is Vacant Mouth. Um, Vacant Mouth was a great song. It was really good. I really loved the screams from Spencer Chamberlain, and some of his clean vocals is pretty good in it too. So 5 out of 5 for that one. I wasn't sure if I was going to give Reversal a 5 out of 5 or a 4.5 out of 5 because there were some scream pitches that Spencer Chamberlain did, but it then got repetitive and cycled a bit, was repeating the same thing over and over. So that was my problem with the song. But other than that, the mixing was not too bad. My deteriorating incline was such a great way. I think it's the last screaming track. Well, I think Incompletion was another screaming track, but not too much screaming. It's mostly Spencer Chamberlain with his clean vocals in that song. And yeah, the drumming in My Deteriorating Incline is great, and so is the guitar work. So this, yeah. And finally, Incompletion, like I was trying to say, there was more clean vocals. Then there were some pitches that Spencer Chamberlain can hit that I was really surprised with. But I don't know if it sounded great, to be honest, but still a good song for what it went for. Then comes the scream towards the second half of the song, and I really love that. It really brought out the best in the song, honestly. So, overall, production, mixing, and execution, Disambiguation, for what it was going for, was a pretty good album. And this was a pretty good album from start to finish. There were maybe like 3 songs I wasn't sure if I was feeling for, but 8 out of 11 songs were really good. So, yeah. Overall, I think Underoath's Disambiguation was a pretty good album. Highly recommend you check it out. It was their last album when they took a hiatus for like 8 years until Erase Me came out, and you'll be seeing Erase Me re-review January 12th. So that's when I'm going to be doing it, and that'll be the last Underoath album review I do for their discography. And then Voyeurist will be out 2 days after that, after I finish that re-review. But first score for me, I'm going to give Disambiguation by Underoath an 8.5 out of 10. Pretty good listen. Highly recommend you check it out. It's a pretty good album. It's one of the best albums to close the chapter for their Christian metalcore sound they were going for a while, until they stopped doing that and drifted away from Christianity in their songs with the Erase Me album. So Erase Me really defined what they really felt about Christianity and all that, and how mental health and all that comes in effect with that album. So, yeah, I'll have a little bit to talk about in that Erase Me re-review that I'm going to do on Wednesday, January 12th. Or maybe I'll premiere it that day or something. I don't know. But comment below. Let me know what you guys thought of Underoath's Disambiguation album, if you've heard it. And if you enjoyed this Disambiguation album review. Sorry about the ding, that's my phone. Comment below and let me know what you guys thought of this Underoath Disambiguation album. Tap a like on this video if you liked it. Subscribe to my channel if you can. Support the channel. I personally love this album. This is a great album, honestly. Spencer Chamberlain surprised me with his singing, with his clean singings in this album. And mostly the screams are great in this album. So this was a pretty well produced album. Not the best, like, Define the Great Line and Lost in the Sound of Separation, yeah. Because definitely go check out my previous reviews for Define the Great Line and Lost in the Sound of Separation, because I think you'll enjoy those a lot more. This one was a pretty good album for what it was, so they did a good job. So, yeah, I will return to you for another review and when I get the chance to. I'm not sure if I said tap like on this video if you liked it, subscribe to my channel if you can, support the channel. If I did, let me know in the comment section below, because I tend to forget, honestly. But, yeah, I really enjoyed this album for what it went for. And I will return to you for The Witcher Season 2, Episodes 7 and 8 review in a little bit. I gotta wake up a little bit more, because, yeah, I'm still a little tired, because I slept for a while, and, yeah. Uh, Basically, I hope you did enjoy this album review, and this is the second to last album review that I'm doing in their discography, and then Voyeurist is coming out on the 14th, so that's like 5 days away, and I just pre-ordered my copy for it, so I'm really glad I did, and I'm not returning it or anything, because I enjoyed the singles for what they were going for. So I hope this new album is worth listening to. But stay safe, take care, and as always, I'll see you in my next review.